Hey guys! So today's video is going to be a review of Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. Honestly, it's less of a review and more of a rant. So here's your warning. If you haven't read this book and you plan on reading the series or the book and you just haven't gotten to it yet, don't watch this video because there's going to be spoilers, because I feel like I can't properly talk about the book without spoiling things and talking about things that happened. So yeah, don't watch it if you don't want to be spoiled. If you don't plan on reading the series, or if you've already read it, then keep watching if you want to see me rant about it. So yeah, it's less of a review, like structured review of going through like the plot and the characters. Although I am going to like talk about this thing. It's going to be more of like a ranting about what I didn't like about it, because there's very few things that I did like. And I just want to preface this by saying that I actually really enjoyed the rest of the series. You can see that I have a bunch of the books here, and Queen of Shadows was slightly less good than the rest of them, but like I really like the series, even though I recognize the flaws in it and I know like the problems that some people have with it, but I was fine with it. I liked the series so far. Empire of Storms felt like a different book entirely, like just for so many reasons. I made this like list on my phone of just thoughts I had while I was reading, so I didn't start doing it till like halfway through the book. So most of these are thoughts on like things that happened halfway through, but that's kind of when I started disliking it the most. The thing with the Throne of Glass series is that I feel like the plot changes in every book. When I started reading the series with Throne of Glass, I thought it was going on a totally different trajectory than where it's actually going. Because like the first book is just so different than everything else, and then the plot in the second book, it kind of takes a different path. And I know that plot lines for like series can change and there's like subplots in each book and everything. It's just, it feels like very disconnected. I don't know. Like if you think about what happened in Empire of Storms and you go back and look at the Throne, like the first book, Throne of Glass, it's so different. Like it doesn't even seem like it should be in the same series. Like basically by the end of Heir of Fire, once you found out who Aelin was and everything, the series kind of started having a bit more of a structure of like where it was going and like what they were doing with it. It's just, I don't know. The characters are just all so unlikable at this point. Like, I want to know what happened to the characters that I liked in the first like 3 or 4 books of the series and that I actually was attached to, because I don't like any of them anymore. Dorian is basically terrible now. Like I used to love him so much, and in this book he got totally shafted with like terrible like character development and everything. It was horrible. Roman, I feel like I liked him in Heir of Fire and then started to dislike him as the series went on, and now I really don't like him that much. The whole territorial Fae male thing is just so annoying. Like, the whole Fae thing just actually annoys me, because it's just, everything sounds so animalistic. Like everyone's growling or like hissing at each other, and like instead of calling them men they call them males, which I get, I guess, because they're not technically human. But by calling them males and by calling the person that spend the rest of their life with mates, it just makes them sound like animals, and it's really uncomfortable to read. And just like how territorial and like possessive they are, it's ugh. Aiden, I still don't actually know how to say his name. In my head I think I pronounce it like Aiden, but I don't think that's how you say it. I think it's like Adian or something. I don't really know. Anyway, I never liked him. I still don't. He annoys me. I've always liked Lysandra, but I feel like in this book, again, she got shafted with some like terrible romantic subplot, which I will get to later. I gotta say, I did kind of like the addition of having Gabriel and Fenris in this, because I did like them a little bit more. Because you know what? It was nice having Gabriel there, because he was the one like calm, level-headed person that wasn't freaking out at everything that was going on. Lorcan grew on me a bit, but I still don't really like him that much. I like Elide. She's probably one of my more favorite characters in the series. My absolute favorite character is Manon and Abraxas and all of the witches. Basically, the witches plotline is the best thing in this book. And like, it was frustrating when it would go from like the witches back to Aelin for like 50 chapters and then like one more about the witches. I'm like, I don't care about what Aelin's doing. Which is sad that Sarah J. Maas has written it so that this side plotline is something I care more about than the actual main character. Speaking of the main character, I've mentioned it before, but the main character that I hate the most, or have hated the most in the past, is Clary Fray, because she's so annoying. I'm pretty sure Aelin has like surpassed her in protagonists that I hate. And the thing is, I used to love her as Selena, because it made sense for an assassin to be like kind of cold and snarky, but she's lost the like snarkiness and the fun of it, and now she's just like cold and calculating and terrible to everyone. Sarah J. Maas is trying so hard to make her like a badass, like the fire-breathing queen or whatever they call her, and just make her so like, she's making her like cold and like not likable. And I don't know if that's intentional, if we're like supposed to not like Aelin as the series goes on, but I feel like it's failing terribly, because I don't like Aelin. I don't think anyone likes Aelin. She has such a short temper. I have like no sympathy for her anymore. There's the part where she and Aiden kind of get in a fight about her not having a plan, and he's like, where are our armies now and all this stuff, and then he feels bad about it later because he sees that she actually did have a plan and invited all these armies and stuff, and he's like, oh, she just took it when I yelled at her and I'm a terrible person. Like, no, you had every right to yell at her because she didn't tell anyone what was going on. Like, who makes plans, like big plans like that could actually like save you and give your people hope and not tell anyone because you want it to be a big surprise or something? Like, that doesn't make sense. Why isn't she telling anyone anything? It doesn't make sense. And like, when she has that thing where she's like drawing up all that power when they're in the pirate city, I can't remember the name of, and she's like about to, like, she is like being taken over by that goddess and she's like about to blast the city, and then like Rowan jumps in front of her and she like turns the direction, whatever, and then Rolf is like understandably angry when she gets back. He's like, he almost fired all this magic on my town and destroyed it. And instead of like apologizing and be like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I kind of got out of control, I didn't mean to, or something like that, being a decent person, she says, you just allied yourself with a queen who can destroy cities if she wishes. Like, you could have killed an entire town and that's how you react to it? Like, I get that she's trying to put on this like face of being cold and like strong and everything, but Then she says she will compensate the families of those who died in that big shipwreck thing that she caused. Yeah, like, I'm sure that'll make them feel better. Just give them your money. That's great, Aelin. I'm glad that you have so much sympathy for these people who just lost, like, their family members. Yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of done ranting about Aelin. In short, I don't like her. In short, the only characters in the book that I liked were Elide, Manon, / the rest of the witches, and Abraxas and all their other wyverns and stuff, and, like, Gavro. The other main thing that I have a problem with the series, moving on from characters and kind of going back to plot, the other main problem I have with this book and why it feels so different from the rest of the series is the amount of sexual stuff in it. Okay, I don't have a problem with like an occasional like sex scene in a YA book because usually they're pretty tame and it's just like the before / after whatever, and there's no, like, doesn't go into great detail, just kind of implied. I'm fine with that, whatever. This was not that. This was like straight up erotic. Like, it was just very in detail, but like not in a way, because like it's like she tried to make it as in detail as possible, but like disguise certain words and phrases by like making it more poetic. No, it just makes it so uncomfortable to read. Like, some of the phrases she uses, I'm not gonna say because it's uncomfortable, but like, here's one, and I'll let you guess for yourself what this means if you haven't read the book already. Velvet wrapped steel, in reference to something that's going on during one of these scenes, and I'm sure you can glean for yourself what that means, but it's such an uncomfortable phrase, like, it doesn't even make sense. It's just so extra. No one needs that. I haven't read the Court of Thorn and Roses series or whatever, but apparently those books are like that too, or at least the most recent one is. Why is Sarah J Maas suddenly changing her writing style like that? Like, if you want to write that kind of stuff, write an adult book, write a new adult book, but don't put it in YA books. I go into YA books because I know that kind of stuff's not going to be in there, so I don't have to like skim pages and stuff. YA books are not just for older teenagers, they're for younger teenagers too, and I know that like technically a 13-year-old like might be able to handle that, but when I was 13 that would have like scarred me reading all that stuff. And it's just like there's so much PDA. Like, Rowan and Aelin are constantly like kissing or like nipping at each other's ears, which again, there's the whole animalistic thing, that's just weird to me and it's uncomfortable. Because like, for the whole first half of the book it's just them talking about how much they want to sleep with each other. Like, I don't care. Okay, just do it already. Except I wasn't expecting them to do it as in detail as they did it. I don't know, it made me angry when I was reading it. Like, and the thing is, I was looking at other reviews on Goodreads that were like bad reviews, kind of like rants about it, and they had the exact same complaints as me, so I'm not the only one who's like uncomfortable with this kind of stuff. Also, the whole Dorian and Manon thing is so stupid. Like, in what world does that make sense? Like, here's an idea. How about you have Manon pair off with nobody? Manon deserves so much better than a stupid, convoluted, romantic subplot. And then with the whole Elide and Lorcan thing, like, normally that's the kind of thing I like two characters who hate each other go on like some kind of journey and like end up liking each other in the end. But I like it better when it's a slow burn hate to love relationship, not just like, although I don't know how long they were actually together, but like, they were like the relationship I was the most fine with. But like, again, even like the first time they kiss, it's not just a normal kiss, they just start like going at it with each other. Like, why? Why can't the first kiss just be like a normal kiss and just stop? And the whole thing with Aiden and Lysandra, like, the fact that I'm having to talk about 4 separate couples here and that's basically all the main characters is the problem, first of all, because can we just have a book where all the main characters don't get together in the end? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, she's trying to pair off people just to have them be paired off. Aiden and Lysandra especially feel so forced that it doesn't work. I'm just gonna go through and see if I have any like specific other things I want to talk about. So when Elide meets up with them in the end, and then Aelin and Manon just start going at it, they're like, she's mine, she's coming with me, she's mine, and all this stuff. Like, she's a person, she can pick who she wants to go with and where she wants to go. She's not like an object that you can just claim. It's so weird. The ending of the book was really intense, and I actually kind of liked the last kind of little chunk of the book when things got, you know, like really intense with like, and I liked all the battle scenes and everything. I thought those were pretty well done. Also, why was everyone getting upset at Dorian for the whole mirror thing of like Manon and Aelin going through it? Because like, yeah, he suggested it and he came up with the idea, but he didn't like push them into it. They made the conscious choice to do that. Also, it was kind of necessary. I guess no one knows that except for Aelin, and she's not there, but Manon could tell them, like, hey, that was kind of a thing we needed to do. Stop getting mad at Dorian for like taking Aelin away from the battle because she needed to go there and see that thing. And then in the end, everyone just like hates each other, and for various reasons, and everything is terrible, so you know, whatever. Great setup for the next book. Basically, my rating system on Goodreads is like 0 is a book that I absolutely abhorred. A 1 would be a book that I really, really didn't like. A 2 is a book that I finished reading and like really didn't like, but I didn't hate it. A 3 would be like a kind of okay book. A 4 is a really, really good book. A 5 is like a perfect book, you know. So overall, I rated this book 2 stars on Goodreads. 1 star just for like the battle scenes and the fact that it wasn't terribly written. Except for a lot of parts I didn't like. Like, the other star is basically entirely for Manon and the witches, so. So yeah, if you've read the book, comment down below and let me know what your thoughts on it were. If you actually liked it, tell me why. I'd like to know what your opinion is on it, and if you disagree with me, that's cool. You probably enjoyed reading it more than I did. Yeah, hopefully this was kind of a comprehensive review. It was more of a rant. Let's be honest, it was more of a rant. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again with another video. Bye!